The Bulldogs pull off the huge win. Hello, everybody. Terry Bennett here on the Millsap Football Show, right here on S2S Sport, part of L4 Media, as Millsap gets the huge win. And I cannot express how huge this game was, beating Comanche 35-22 and really dominating Comanche for 2.5 quarters. I mean, Comanche scored 7 in the third and 15 in the fourth to make it closer. But, I mean, what the Bulldogs did defensively, what you did offensively, just grinding down a very physical, very tough Comanche team and just getting one of the biggest wins that this program's had in a while. You're now not just talking about, hey, let's just hope we make the playoffs. That goal is there. But you're also talking about, hey, let's maybe win district. Or let's maybe finish second. We don't have to be the fourth place representative. And so I just can't impress how much of a win this was and how big of a win it was for the Bulldogs. As always, we'll be talking to the head coach of the Bulldogs, Coach Jacob Johnson, about the win. Talk about the big matchup against Dublin, because now every game is just as big going forward. You cannot take a game off in this district. I know Dublin and Eastland are both 1-5, but go look at who they've lost to. They're competitive teams. And if you get to strutting too much, you can get struck down. I don't think you have to worry about that with Millsap, but it does need to be said. And Coach even talks about that's what you have to tell, got to remind everybody, enjoy the win. I love how he puts it. I think he said, how does he say it? You'll hear it in the interview, something like, don't let a pat in the back turn into a massage. I mean, and it's very true. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, it is the head coach of Millsap, Coach Jake Johnson, about the big win over Comanche and about the matchup over Dublin, and also about what it's like just laying the foundation. And that starts with the 7th grade, the 8th grade, the JV, and even younger. We'll talk about all that when we come back right here on the Millsap Football Show on S2S Sports, part of L4 Media. Here at L4 Media, we talk high school football, 4A, 3A, and 2A in Texas. We talk East Texas sports. We talk NFL, guy talk, movie, and booze. We also talk wrestling and so much more. And you can see it all on our YouTube channel at L4 Media Company. Like and subscribe. Terry Bennett back here on the Millsap Football Show, now joined by the head coach of the Bulldogs, Coach Jacob Johnson. And, Coach, great opening win in district last week against Comanche, 35-22. What were your thoughts on the game?
Well, first of all, thank you. I appreciate that. I was very proud of not only what we did, but more so how we did it, how our guys played. I have the utmost respect for Coach Escobar and his program. I think they're first class all the way. And to come out, get a district win, to start district over a program like that, that was big for us. And it was just gives us a lot of momentum to build off of.
Yeah, your run game, 251 yards on 52 carries, 4.8 yards. I mean, you basically just grinded down a Comanche team that's a pretty physical team this year.
Oh, there's no doubt they're physical, and it was a physical game. We were fortunate to get in a groove and find some things that we liked that were working well, and we had the persistence to stick to it, and it paid off for us.
And I can't express how big of a win this was. You look at this district coming in, and you felt it was Comanche and Jacksboro and y'all all three were going to kind of tussle around and see who came out on top. And y'all take that first big step, getting that win over Comanche, which gives you the tiebreaker over them in case y'all tie.
Yes, sir. There's no doubt. That's one thing we talk about all the time as a team is, especially now in district. Our goal is to be 1-0 every week, because in this district, as everyone has seen, anybody can beat anybody on any week. And so, that was great. It was a good win, but it doesn't mean anything if we go lose the next 4. So it's all about being 1-0 every single week. Every week is its own season.
Well, and that's a great point, because you take on a Dublin team this week, the Lions, who, yeah, they're 1-5, but if you look at their teams and who they've played, that they've been in 3 of those games that easily could have been wins for the Lions. What are your thoughts when you look at Dublin on film?
They're tough. They're very scrappy, and yeah, that's as we had our coaches meeting this weekend. That's one of the things we talked about was, you look at their schedule, they're playing good football teams. And it's a lot of those games, they just come up short. You know, you get to watching the film and it's a turnover here or turnover there. So they're very well coached. I think Dublin has a very good program, and it's going to be a ball game. It's going to be just like last week, and like I tell my guys, 3 and 4 yards is a great football play. We've got to understand that and be happy with that.
And I know it is cliche because they're 1 and 5, and so is Eastland. But and those are your next two games, Dublin and then Eastland. But legitimately, those two teams are not two teams that are normally look 1 and 5.
No, and they're not 1 and 5 teams. You know, if you're on the outside looking in. They're not 1 and 5 football teams at all. Like I said, they've lost to some very good teams right now, and it is going to be a dogfight for the next 4 weeks, no doubt.
How has practice been this week after the big win?
It's been really good. We've really made a concentrated effort on enjoying the momentum, using the momentum, but not forgetting who we are. Don't ever let a pat on the back turn into a massage, and just taking it one day at a time, one play at a time. And we've had a good week of practice, and I'm excited to watch us play again. Our youngins tonight, and then our older guys tomorrow.
How are the youngins doing so far this year?
Man, our JV, that's a tough bunch of kids. They're 3 and 3 right now, and so. It'll be a good game tonight. Our 8th grade is undefeated, and in our 7th grade, man, our 7th grade that's a scrappy group of kids. They haven't won a game yet, but man, every game is a touchdown game. You know what I'm saying? It's close, and they're still learning, and a lot of guys are brand new to football. And they're going to be pretty salty once they grow and put it all together. But I've been very pleased with the younger teams. Fortunately, my son is on the 8th grade team, so I get to spend a lot of time with them and enjoy being with them. And there's a lot to be excited about for our program down the road.
Well, I was just about to say, for all the talk about like each year, how many seniors you're having, how much experience, the growth of the program starts at the 7th grade, 8th grade, JV. That's where all that growth begins, and then you see the fruits when they're seniors.
Well, I'll tell you, for me, it actually started earlier than that. When I first took this job, I committed myself to being at all the youth football games, trying to help with youth practices as much as I could. And then, we try to be active. We are active within the youth association as much as possible. And so like these kids that are playing for me that are seniors now, I was going to their games on Saturday when they were in 4th grade. So you start to build those relationships and that trust then, and really build a program from the top down.
Well, and it's not just about the football. You just said it best. It's about the relationships with the young men.
Absolutely, and it's a labor of love. It's something you don't do it. You don't have to do all that stuff. You do it because you want to. You enjoy it. You enjoy being around them.
Is your demanding work lifestyle in need of fire-resistant clothing that can keep up? Well, L4FR clothing should be your go-to for quality, affordability, safety, and style. L4FR was founded by a third-generation oil field worker who is also a veteran. Thus, this company has a deep appreciation for reliability and longevity, all while we provide first-rate customer service. Our durable apparel will serve you well for many years to come, whether you're working on a pipeline, a lineman climbing utility poles, or in any other environment requiring fire-resistant apparel. L4FR has you covered. Our apparel is tough enough to resist hazardous conditions while still providing high comfort and style. L4FR provides clothing options to ensure your safety and comfort, whether you're on the job or not. To view our complete inventory of flame-resistant garments, please visit our online store at l4frclothing.com or give us a call at 817-757-4935. Si habla español. As always, we want to thank Coach Johnson for joining us here. You can always email any questions, thoughts, or comments for the show, Terry at S2SSport.com. You can also email me anything about 3A. And by the way, you can hear our state 3A show Sideline to Sideline that Grant Goodwin and I do every Tuesday night. We do it on audio, S2SGrantandTerry.com. They're also on every podcast platform. But we also do video, YouTube. Check that at L4 Media Company. That's the name of the YouTube channel. We also do NFL show called Outdrank the Coverage. I have a lot of great stuff coming up for the playoffs, too, so be staying tuned for that. And, of course, be staying tuned for more Millsap shows and maybe something else really, really special that we're working on. I can't tell you now, but I can't wait to tell you. I think you Millsap fans are going to absolutely love this. I think you're also going to absolutely love the fact that you're 1-0. Like, how great is that? 1-0 in district after playing one of the big dogs. So now you've got to take care of business when you're supposed to, and that's the next step. You know, getting the big win, that's first. Beating the teams you should beat or that are close to you or on the same level as you, that's where you start laying down that foundation and you start talking about, hey, we're not just making the playoffs. We're going to make the playoffs and we're going to win a couple games. So Dublin this week, Eastland next week. Then you get the next two big dogs, Jacksboro and Merkel. And, of course, we'll be talking all about that right here on the Millsap Football Show on S2S Sports, part of L4 Media.